Welcome to The Explainer. Look, today we're skipping all the feel-good fluff. We're going to get real about the harsh, unfiltered truths about what it actually takes to move forward in the game of life.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll tackle that trap we all fall into, the illusion of doing. Then, we'll get into the really tough part, mastering the lonely middle. After that, we'll explore the surprising price of being exceptional, and we'll wrap it all up with a powerful mindset shift, realizing that life is happening now.
All right, first things first, we have to confront what is maybe the biggest hurdle for most of us, confusing motion with action. You know, the difference between just being busy and actually being productive. Getting this right is the key to everything else.
Okay, take a good look at this list. I mean, let's be brutally honest with ourselves, right? Every single one of these things feels like work. Preparing, scheduling, making another to-do list. They're often just very sophisticated ways to procrastinate. They're all the things we do to avoid doing the thing.
And this just says it all, doesn't it? It cuts right through all the noise, all the excuses. You can strategize and plan until you're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, the only thing that actually moves you forward is doing the work. There's just no way around it.
So why do we do this? Why do we get stuck in this loop of motion instead of action? Well, it's actually a pretty clever defense mechanism. Staying in the planning stage, it's safe, it's comfortable. Because if you never truly try, you never have to face the pain of failure. It's a way to protect our ego, but the real cost is that you stay exactly where you are.
Okay, so let's say you do it. You break out of that illusion and you actually start doing the work. What happens next? Well, you enter what is maybe the hardest part of any journey, the long, lonely, and totally unglamorous middle.
And this is a tough pill to swallow. The reality is, until you've got something to show for it, all that effort, it's invisible. No one's clapping for you. No one is cheering you on. It's just you and the work day in and day out.
I mean, think about it, right? People love to show up for two things. The starting line, when everyone's excited, and the finish line, when you've already won. But that brutal, soul-crushing middle part, yeah, the stands are empty. And that's where the race is actually won. And that lonely middle, that's where you find out who you really are. See, the work you do when everyone's watching, that just shows people who you want to be. But the work you do when nobody's watching, that reveals who you actually are.
This is a moment for a serious gut check. It forces you to get really honest. Are you really complaining about the results you didn't get? Or are you just frustrated with the work you know, deep down, you didn't put in?
You know, the key thing here is to completely change how you think about the word hard. When things get tough, when you lose sleep, when you're stressed out and full of doubt, that's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're actually on the right path. That difficulty, that's the barrier that keeps everyone else out.
So you're doing it. You're pushing through that hard, lonely middle. You're making real progress. But then a totally new and kind of unexpected challenge pops up. Not everyone in your life is going to be thrilled about your growth.
Man, this is such a game-changing way to look at it. When you hear someone say you've changed, it stings, right? But what if what they're really trying to say is you've grown, and they just don't have the words for it? It's not an accusation, it's just evidence that you're evolving.
At the end of the day, you have to pick your discomfort. There's no way around it. You can either choose the quiet, internal conflict of shrinking yourself to fit in, or you can choose the loud, external conflict that comes with daring to stand out and be exceptional.
This table just nails the psychology of it all, doesn't it? When you're on your way up, everyone's your biggest fan. Why? Because you remind them of their own dreams. But the second you get to the top, suddenly you might feel like a threat. You become a living reminder of the ambitions they gave up on. You can't let their reaction derail your journey.
So, what do you do with the haters, the critics? You forget about them. Seriously, don't waste your breath arguing. The best, most powerful, and most efficient response is just success. Your results will do all the talking for you.
And this right here, this is the ultimate power move. It's not about beating them. It's not a competition. The real goal is to grow so much, to achieve so much, that you cast a shadow so big, their opinions literally become invisible.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've talked about the illusion of doing. We've powered through that lonely middle. We've dealt with the social price of growth. So what's the point of it all? Where's the big reward?
Well, it's not where you think it is. So many of us live in this trap without even realizing it. It's called the provisional life. It's the I'll be happy when mindset. I'll finally relax when I get the promotion. I'll feel good when I finish this project. We are constantly putting our own happiness on layaway.
And here's the really harsh truth. Your to-do list will never be empty. There will never be a perfect time. If you want to write that book, or spend more time with your family, or start that business, you just have to do it. Now, in the middle of all the chaos.
Look, delayed gratification is absolutely a superpower, no doubt. But when you take it to the extreme, it just becomes no gratification. You have to find a way to enjoy the journey, because the future you're working for is never, ever guaranteed.
This is such a cool trick for getting clarity when you feel stuck. Seriously, try it. Pretend your life is a movie and you're in the audience. What would you be screaming at the main character, at you, to do right now? Whatever that is, that's probably the right answer.
And this is it. This is the big reveal at the end of the movie. These days, right now, with all the mess and the stress and the uncertainty, these are the golden years. These are the good old days you'll be looking back on.
So please, stop waiting. Life isn't a dress rehearsal. It's happening right this second. The ultimate truth is to live it, now, with everything you've got. So I'll just leave you with this one question. What's the one thing you've been getting ready to do that you could just start doing today?